the city lights to the wide open skies, we're leaving behind the hustle and grind. Rangel Ranch, a journey of heart.
Hi, welcome back. Well, today I lost a clip of the microphone, so I will be holding this. Couldn't find it. I'm going to find it when I'm not looking for it. I bet you that. Today we're going to talk a little bit about my accomplishment here on planting the papaya trees. Since we were living in the previous house, we had a very small backyard, but even though I planted like 8 papaya trees, and I learned a lot. And I learned that the papaya trees can not only feed the fruit, but the whole thing. But we'll talk about that during this video. But the important thing for me about the papaya plants is that is the start of the worm farm processing or development. Because for me, the papaya trees, I discovered that the papaya trees not only has the nutrients to feed the worms, but they can feed the other animals and feed us too. And when the plant has its lifetime, when the plant it's old enough, and you know, at least that's my experience here in Florida. I lived in Central Florida, and I'm now in North Florida, so we'll see what happens here. But in Central Florida, I saw that the lifespan of the trees is 2 to 3 years. If a big winter gets it, it can kill the papaya tree. But if it kills the papaya tree, for me, it still feeds the worms, because let's say the core or the tree, I cut it in pieces, and inside is like a pulp, and that pulp feeds the worms too. So I take advantage of the whole tree, the fruits, and then the whole thing, you know. So it's been a great experience for me, and I'm doing it here. My goal, like I'm going to say in the video, it's about 100. Here I did about 23, 24. I got a couple more that I didn't plant, but you know, this not only going to look awesome because they're going to grow around this shed, and it's going to look great, but it'll be closer to the shed because the rest of the land's not prepared. I can't plant something that then is going to be on the way of developing other things. So it seemed obvious for me to do it just in front by now. Then I'll prepare when I have the tools to do it, a big portion, and I'll do like 100. But here with 23 trees is a lot to start, because a papaya tree can give you a lot of papayas. And you can get some small ones, they're green, or you can let them get yellow or something. This is only one type of papayas. The rest, I have other types. Even I bought, I don't know if it's true, but I bought a blue purple one online. Let me see if that's true. I have the seeds. I didn't do it here. I'm going to do it in pots and see how that grows up. But yeah, this is a start for me to a future of self-sufficient, at least the most that I can. Okay, so watch the entire video. We're going to have a little fun here, and see you around. This is frass, Frass. It's the nice word to say worm poop. This is the poop of the mealworms and superworms. It has a lot of advantages to help grow the plant as a fertilizer. It prevents some bugs to be to keep them away from the ground and the roots. And this other product is a mix of eggshell powder and oyster shell powder. Actually, I sell this product too. So what I do is mix it with potting mix, potting soil or topsoil, whatever, and the native ground, or the native, in this case, the sand. I'll be well, I'm not going to show you much of how to mix the soil, right? But I like this one, and eventually I'll be making my own. That's why the pig is there. The chickens make a great fertilizer too, or a great soil mixed with everything that we have here, but it's not ready yet. I am going to put it all in one place, and then I'll be using my own soil. I'm going to start with this little one here, and then we'll go here. I'm doing a row, just to start somewhere. I want 100. That's what I'm going to do. I want 100 plants planted before the fall comes. So what I do, I put a little bit of dirt or the mix here. So when it starts growing, it'll have some extra food. I don't break it all the way. I just go like that. Add more. And I put back some of the native sand for two reasons. First, I don't want the cats or the dog to smell the potting soil, because the cats would want to poop on it or scratch it or kill the plant. So what I do, I put back the soil or the sand, the native sand, and I'm gonna press it down a little bit. That's it. We got one more. So what I did is put the equaled distanced all the papaya trees. They're very close by, but I learned that, because they're straight up, it's great to have them close together. They look awesome. So what I was thinking is that, let me go further here. This is the first row, right? That is like near the shed. So the other rows, I'm going to start doing it later on like this. So I'm going to do like a tree farm, like that tree farm over there that they planted like this, but with papaya trees. I'm going to do at least 100. So I'm starting with the first two, for the first 8, and I'll probably do 10, but they're small. I don't want to do the small ones. So I'll probably do one row of 8, and then the rows over there that way. But I have to take the stumps out and clean up this area. That's a lot of work, but I'll do it eventually. I'll do it before the summer ends and we're still in spring. So I got planted 3. Let's do The rest of them. So I put the native soil back for the cat purpose. So great. Today we made another guinea, but we made guinea noodle soup. It was awesome. It was awesome. I liked it better this time than the first two. Um, we still have 2 guineas left. I think I'm not gonna eat those, just to have those 2 guineas. And yeah, in a few days we'll be buying new birds. I have to prepare the space for them, for the new birds. And well, we'll see. Get the family a little bit older. They go older. Get the family bigger. I'm the one that's older and not getting any younger. Because this is small. Now that this is done, we're going to water it. Okay. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now we're going to water them. I'm going to keep this soil here because as I water it, the soil comes down. So we're done. Just in time because the sun is coming down. This is a good moment. I'm just going to water it. I'm going to water them. And what I'm going to do is eventually I'll put a soaking hose. I don't know if it's called like that. A soaking hose all in this row. And then they will be adding. So, and then put a timer so they can get soaked by themselves, you know, and all that. This is water directly from the well. This is not filtered water because the minerals are incredible. So, and I can wet them too because the sun's coming down. Temperature's perfect. I'll water them 2 or 3 days in a row if it doesn't rain until they get roots, and then I'll water them every other day because they're fruits that need a lot of watering. The papaya needs watering at least 3 times a week. So we'll soak them a lot. It seems a little thing, but for me it's a milestone because I planted those by seed of my papaya trees that I had in the house. So those are my papaya trees relatives, you know, or descendants. And well, there's 8 there. I still got another few more. You see? I don't know if I showed you this before, but this is my avocado tree. I planted this a year ago, but it was in a pot. So in pots don't grow, and then winter came. But you can see it starts to grow. Right now it starts to get more leaves. So I hope this summer it'll get at least 2 feet or 3 feet more. So these are the papaya trees left here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And there's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 16 left. Well, there's one down there. So those I'm going to, on the big pots, not going to plant them yet because the cats or the dogs or me can step on them and think they're weed. So, and I haven't prepared the second row, but the second row I am going to prepare. The problem is that I have some tree stumps there and I don't have the equipment to take them down. But yeah, I'll water them tomorrow morning again, and that's part of it. That's going to be the worms food, chicken's food, me food, and pig food, and the other animals that we can eventually have here. And that's a good source. That's the first one because we're going to do a whole lot of fruits and vegetables. The goal, like I said before, is to have at least some self-sufficient here. Try not to feed them grains as much. So the goal is that the chickens will be fed by fruits, vegetables, and worms. No feed outside Rangel Ranch. That's my goal. My goal is to have all the animals I consume and all the animals that produce eggs or meat eat only what is in here. And the worms are a great source of protein, and the vegetables and the fruits give them the other nutrients that they need. So yeah, with this, oh, look at who's coming here. King Kazuki is coming here. He was a house cat, indoor cat, sort of, because he escaped. And now we let him go, but he's not like the kitties, that the kitty they stay here. They stay inside and outside in the area, but he doesn't. He just goes and disappears for a couple of days, and then comes back, and then disappears, and then comes back. Yeah, and he blends in with the environment here. Yeah, he's not friendly with the kitties. He doesn't do anything, but he's not friendly with them either. He doesn't want to play. So yeah, he is a cat that well, that's there's one thing I want to tell you guys. We never bought a dog or a cat. Never. And we'll never will pay for a dog and a cat. We got the Kazuki, we got him in a shelter. My biggest daughter brought him to us as a gift to my wife. And the Luna, the little dog, was a gift too. And Sony was a gift from a neighbor. And the other two little cats, we got them from a neighbor here. So they're local. So we don't, and the pig was a gift too from my sister's friend in Georgia. So we haven't bought none of those animals. The only that we bought in Tractor Supply was the dog and the chickens and the guineas. And this year we're going to do something like that. We're going to buy probably a dozen, a mixed. I'll probably get turkeys and other different types of birds and some meat birds. I want to get at least 20 to prepare them for us to start not buying the grocery store. These are going to be organic or sort of organic because they're still going to have some grain in their diet. But until I stop the grain and have more inside food, as the papayas, as another things, I have to do a lot of. I have a lot of work to do because I have to do a greenhouse. I have to do the raised bed gardens enclosed because of the cats and of the bugs and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of work to do here in Rangel Ranch.
Rangel Ranch, we're on our way.
We're done doing the 8 rows, or the 1 row of 8 papaya trees, but I figured out I can do better because I still have a few more plants and I want to do that anyway right now. I was waiting until they grew a little bit more, but I'm not going to wait. What I did was 8 holes more, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 or 4 more here and 3 or more here. You see the 8 here? So it's going to be like an entrance. You see? It's going to look like an entrance. It's going to be 8, 8, and 3 and 3. So when they grow, this is going to be like an enclosure here. It's going to look nice. And the good thing about keeping, for me right now at the first stage, keeping close the papaya trees of the worm farm is that that's their food. That's where I'm going to go, and there with the chickens. So I want to have my first stage close. Okay, so that's the purpose. So I'm going to be planting this, and I'll show you the results. Who's blend in? Who's blend in? Well, I had a little interruption. I was working, opening the holes for the plants, and I'm gonna seed some tomatoes, and I'll show you that later. But my mind was starting to, get dizzy, and I said, "What happened to me?" And then I had to come here to the house and said, "What happened here?" And then I saw, oh, empanadas. You see that? Oh, they're meat. They're chicken fowl breast meat that we got from the chicken, or from the. So I'm not gonna show you. Oh my God, it's hot. Give me with a paper. I'm not gonna show you how we made it because that's for another video or episode. But I just had to stop here on this. I just have to stop here on this because, my goodness. I'll make a video one of these days. This is a breathtaking. Oh my God, so good. Every time my wife makes the empanadas, we all love them because she's from an island in the Caribbean, in Venezuela, called Margarita Island, and they prepare the most unique and special and great empanadas ever. So whenever she makes empanadas, I can't. I have to stop doing anything that I'm doing because it's too much. Too much. I'm sorry. If you could smell, but you can't. Let's see the part of the project that I was waiting for. I started with 8, and then I realized it was better off doing it like this. And eventually, let me go back. It looks better. right? The piece or the logs or the wood is just for marking the area so I don't step on the plants, because there are some of them are too little. Let me put this here. Some of them are too little and I just don't want to step on it, by mistake. But I didn't want to plant them so small, but because it's the perfect time to do it. You see the size of them? The size of them. You see? They're tiny. On this side they're tiny. And they are in risk because of the cats and the dog, and but I'll see what happens. These are biggers. I was going to only put 8 like I told you in previous videos, but then I just did the whole thing. They're like 23, 24. And eventually this is going to look awesome, because imagine, let me take this out of here. Imagine all this like trees, right? And this is the entrance. This is the entrance, right? And all these trees are going to be like, it's going to look awesome. We'll see how it looks. But the papaya trees are, like I told you a while ago, are one of the most important part of this cycle of the worm farm. And these are the first ones, but probably I'll prepare in this area here another 50, 60, 70 trees more. I'll just and it's a good timing to do it. If I don't do it now, I have to wait till the next year to do it. So this have to grow from now to August, and probably have some papayas by then. That's the thing. That's the goal, to have papayas this same year. And after the papayas that I just did, I'm going to do some seeds of, I'm going to plant some seeds of tomatoes and bell peppers, and expect that they grow a little bit on the pots before I finish the first part of the raised bed gardens. I'm gonna try to do it with logs, because is what I got. I'll see what I can do there, but that's important too. And then I'll look for other places to plant other type of like potatoes, like watermelon, like pumpkins, like squash, and all that, because that's good for us and good for the chickens. And there's a lot of things. You don't imagine what passes through my mind on what I want to plant, and everything is to the goal of this of being self-sufficient at least 50% by the end of the year, at least on everything. Like I said in the previous video, on my electric car, on my electric solar panels, so I don't use the grid as much, and on the meat birds, on the worms, to lower the cost of feeding the worms and give them more protein, less seeds and that stuff. So that's that. Yeah. Stella, are you hungry? Yeah? Want something to eat? Yeah. You see, I want to change that for fruits, vegetables, and worms. 100%. I don't want to feed the birds with pellets ever again. So, but this is a process that I know I have to do it. But soon enough, you're not going to see that anymore.
Rangel,
Okay, it's been a long, productive day, and I think it's mission accomplished for the day. And it's now time to enjoy a cup of joe with my wife, right? Enjoy. My goodness. And now, well, thank you for watching.
Rangel Ranch, from the city to the homestead.